In the heart of West Africa, where the sun shone brightly and the trees whispered ancient secrets, lived a clever and cunning spider named Anansi. Anansi was famous for his trickery and wit, often using his intelligence to outsmart others. His tales were cherished by the villagers, passed down from generation to generation around warm fires and in cozy homes. One day, Anansi decided that he wanted to be the wisest creature in the world. He believed that if he could gather all the wisdom in the world and keep it for himself, he would be the most powerful and respected being. So, Anansi set out on a journey to collect all the wisdom he could find. Anansi traveled far and wide, visiting different villages and learning from the elders, the wise men, and the women who held the secrets of the earth. He listened to their stories, their teachings, and their advice, and he carefully stored all this wisdom in a large, beautifully decorated clay pot. The pot was heavy and cumbersome, adorned with symbols and patterns that told stories of its own, but Anansi was determined to fill it with every bit of wisdom he could gather. As the pot grew heavier, Anansi realized that he needed to find a safe place to hide it. He didn't want anyone else to discover his treasure trove of wisdom. After much thought, he decided to hide the pot at the top of a tall, ancient tree in the heart of the forest. The tree's branches reached towards the sky, and its roots dug deep into the earth, making it the perfect hiding spot. Anansi tied the pot to his belly with a strong rope and began to climb the tree. However, the pot was so large and heavy that it made climbing difficult. Anansi struggled and slipped, unable to make much progress. As he was climbing, his young son Nintakuma happened to pass by and saw his father struggling. "Father," Nintakuma called out, his eyes wide with curiosity, "why don't you tie the pot to your back instead of your belly? It will be easier to climb that way." Anansi paused and considered his son's advice. He realized that Nintakuma was right. Feeling a bit embarrassed that he hadn't thought of it himself, Anansi untied the pot from his belly and secured it to his back. With the pot on his back, he found it much easier to climb the tree. As Anansi reached the top of the tree, he suddenly stopped and thought to himself, "If my young son has enough wisdom to solve this problem, then perhaps I don't have all the wisdom in the world after all." This realization made Anansi angry and frustrated. In a fit of rage, he threw the pot of wisdom down from the tree. The pot shattered into pieces as it hit the ground, and all the wisdom inside it was scattered to the four corners of the earth. The wind carried the wisdom far and wide, spreading it to every village, every home, and every person. From that day on, wisdom was no longer hoarded by one creature, but was shared among all the people of the world. Anansi climbed down from the tree, feeling a mix of emotions. He was disappointed that he had lost his treasure, but he also realized that wisdom was meant to be shared, not hoarded. He returned to his village and continued to share his stories and his wit with the people, knowing that true wisdom comes from sharing and learning from one another. The villagers gathered around Anansi, eager to hear his tales and learn from his experiences. They marveled at the intricate patterns on the broken pieces of the pot, each symbol representing a piece of wisdom now scattered across the land. Anansi's son, Nintakuma, stood proudly by his father's side, knowing that he had played a part in spreading wisdom to all. And so, the story of Anansi and the pot of wisdom teaches us that wisdom is not something to be kept to oneself, but something to be shared with others. It reminds us that even the cleverest among us can learn from others, and that true wisdom comes from the collective knowledge and experiences of all people. Thank you for joining us on this whimsical journey with Anansi. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more enchanting stories from Savannah Whispers. Share your favorite part of the story in the comments below, and let us know which tale you'd like to hear next. Until next time, keep the magic alive and the stories flowing.